I am feeling like there's a big door that's ready to open. And I'm gonna open it.
I feel like I've been in a dark room stumbling around looking for something and not knowing there was a door. This is something that I'm going to reflect on because I know that I can't continue without that door.
I am determined to deal with things that I have not dealt with well in my past. I feel like this is just going to help all that.
We are more than our thoughts. Our mind is more than our thoughts. When we stand in that space between thoughts, when our mind is in that state, it's saying, I'm open to learning something new. And then I hear something. Something emerges from the nothing. Something emerges from nothing. We witness something come to mind where nothing was there before, except in the body, in feelings, your true self-freedom. I want you to recall the time in which you ate a carrot, so that as much as possible, we're not being metaphorical here. You didn't eat a carrot as a metaphor or simile. You ate a carrot. So recall your experience, please, of you were at a picnic or something like this, the last time you ate a carrot. Just simply find that experience, please. So now what we're going to do with this carrot experience is to explore consciousness. Because as I've said before, this course is about states of consciousness, and your peak experience is a state of consciousness. So then we have to say, okay, time to echo, what's consciousness? And that's what we're now going to explore. If this were a graduate seminar, you would say, oh, I see, this is a phenomenological study of consciousness. Consciousness turned in on itself. But since it's not, I'm simply going to say, we're going to eat a carrot and analyze it in terms of what the carrot experience is. Okay, now recall chewing on that carrot, please. Not figuratively, but literally. What sensations did you feel when you ate the carrot? Just sensations, not emotions, not thoughts. What sensations did you experience when you ate the carrot? This is not a mystery.
Sweet.
Good. More, please.
Surprised because I thought it was a sweet
potato. Nope.
No?
Excuse me, I don't mean nope as in negating what you're saying. It's, okay, surprise, right?
Yeah.
Okay, surprise. Good. Surprise, and let me add one more thing. Surprise as in too salty, too crunchy, too moisture, right? Let's bring in the texture here.
Yeah.
That is a sensation, right?
Yeah. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Because I thought it was a sweet potato and it was a carrot. So, surprised at the flavor.
Good. Okay, a flavor shock. Right? So we're still in the realm of sensations, right?
I have a roasted.
Roasted. So what does roasted taste like? Roasted, it's
A roasted carrot. It was roasted in the oven.
so what did it taste like?
It
Mm,
intensifies the sweetness.
yeah.
Good. Yes. Yes. So roasted is the concept, sweetness is the sensation.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
So now we've just isolated the sensation. Next, emotions. As you ate the carrot, what emotions did you feel? Emotions are different from sensations. Joy is not literally sweet or salty. So, what emotions did you feel as you ate the carrot?
Gratitude.
Gratitude,
Disappointed.
Happiness. Disappointed.
disappointed, good.
Carrots.
One
Appre-
more, please. Huh?
Appreciation.
Appreciation. Great. Okay. What ideas came to mind as you ate the carrot?
It needed more olive oil.
Good.
It'd been a long time since I had good roasted carrots.
Good.
I was
To ask my husband not to put carrots in my curry.
Wonderful. Okay. Next category, affects. That is the intensity. Too sweet, too taxing, too mushy. It's the nervous system measuring the intensity of its shift to it. So what affective states occurred? Organic judgments, too hot, too cold.
Can it be positive? Like, I need to cook these more. I want to eat these more often. These are
So,
delicious.
so it would be really delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the affective state. Really delicious. Right? That's an organic value judgment of your body.
These are healthy.
Mhm.
These are really healthy.
Really? Okay.
Right? It's measuring, it's the hedonic measurement. So this is your nervous system working overtime in what one brain scientist calls organic value judgments. Not by your mind, but by the lower portions of your brain. Too sweet. It's like giving something to your infant, and your infant doesn't like it. And the infant's 3 weeks old and says, Mom, I've told you I do not like this. No, the infant wails.
Too much carrotness.
Yes, exactly. Too much. Okay, now we had a difficult time, but we did it, of sorting through 4 different kinds of consciousness that was involved in eating the carrot experience. Affects, ideas, emotions, and sensations. They're discrete events, discrete states of your nervous system, of your body. But in order to have a carrot experience, you have to mix these together. Otherwise, if they're not mixed together, it's not a carrot experience. For instance, if I want to make a cake, I have to have butter and milk and salt, sugar, and chocolate. But if I don't mix them together, I can't make a cake. So these 4 states have to be mixed together, which is something your brain is doing. The sensations aren't mixing them together. The ideas aren't mixing them together. The affects aren't mixing them together. The emotions aren't mixing together. There's a mixer, which is none of those things. And we're going to call the mixer your ego. And we're not going to go deep with this. This isn't the Freudian ego or the post-Freudian ego. We're just simply saying there's something that mixes all of these states together so that you can have a carried experience, and it's called the ego. Now, the ego is a spinner. It puts a spin on everything. It's a spinner. It's got a bias. Got to mix these things together because I want to have a carried experience. So the ego has a natural bias. It's a spinner. It's like a madman, an ad, this is the spin. So let's look at two examples of what the ego spins. And we're going to use a New Yorker cartoon here to get it. She feeds me. She gives me water. She must be God, says the dog. She feeds me. She gives me water. She must be God. That's the ego. She feeds me. She gives me water. I must be God. Same sensations, right? Same taste, right? But the ego spin, that's the ego. Now, just imagine for a moment that you remove the ego from the spinning. So you still have the emotions and the sensations and the affects and the ideas, but they're not being spun into carrot cake. So if you simply have the spinning going on without limiting what's being spun, all of a sudden, the only thing present is a sweep of movement. A sweep of movement of the infinite universe in a finite moment of your own life. You have a sweep of movement swirling through you, unbounded, which we can call cosmic consciousness. It's full presence. There isn't everything is spinning, it's movement, but it's a sweep of the universe. It's a suite of movement. As Thomas Merton says, in that moment, he says, as he approaches this sweep of consciousness, he says, I watch my ego disintegrate at the point, my ego disintegrates at the point of infinity. So Thomas Merton explored this cosmic state as a 20th century Catholic monk and mystic who called this kind of cosmic inner experience full spirituality. The search for one's true identity, Merton says, is to be sought not in separation from all that is, but in oneness, convergence with all that is. And again, here, right here, with that oneness, all that is, what goes away is the ego. So the only thing remaining is what you described in your sentence of I felt, what were your words? I felt, your I statements. That's not the ego. Let's go back to William James's statement that preceded this, please. Harvard psychologist William James entered the state of consciousness when he took nitrous oxide to experience firsthand something akin to the mystical experience he studied, right? He studied mystics. So he took, this drug try to have mystical experiences. And here's what he said. He saw opposites meet and watched the contradictions and conflicts that make human life so difficult reconcile and meld into a unity. He saw opposites meet and watched the contradictions and conflicts that make human life so difficult reconcile and meld into a unity. So there Eddie is walking in Westerbork, and she says, I can't help it. This comes straight from my heart. That's cosmic consciousness. That is not the ego. Again, Merton, I watch my ego disintegrate at the point of infinity. And what's infinity? Schleiermacher, the infinite universe in a finite moment of my own life. That's not metaphorical. That's not a narrative. That's what you feel in your peak experience. It's the swirling around movement, literally, of the universe astir within you. So when I had, with my peak experience, I wanted to come up with a sentence that could describe for me what I experienced. And like you, I wrote a sentence, and my sentence was, I experience a moment of my own creation as more than myself alone. I experience a moment of my own creation as more than myself alone. So now if I wanted to define the true experience, not as a metaphor, I would say, my true self is the experience of a moment of my own creation as more than myself alone. I want you now to take the sentence that you wrote and fill it out. My true self is, build on the sentence that you already wrote so that you're not going into some kind of hypothetical or meta narrative. My true self is. Okay, read your sentence aloud twice, slowly and without comment, please. Pausing between each reading, after each reading, so we can take in what has been said.
My true self is trusting and being held. My true self is trusting and being held.
My true self is joyful calm. My true self is joyful calm.
My true self is connected to all, where there is no separation. My true self is connected to all, where there is no separation.
You have just defined cosmic consciousness, which is different from the state of your ego. Not as a theory, but as a description of a state that you have already experienced. You have just defined your state of cosmic consciousness, which is what this course is all about. Helping you to stay in that place for longer and longer periods of time. So let's try something now, short exercise, in which I'm going to invite you to lower your eyes or close them or keep them wide open, whatever is most comfortable for you. But I want you to turn your mind back into your body and find something that's moving. Your heart, a pulse, something that literally, not metaphorically, is moving. And once you found that movement in your body, I just want you to notice the movement for, maybe half a minute or something like that. So let's do it. Let's now go inside our bodies and find something that's moving and concentrate on that movement. Describe what you found, please.
I sensed my lungs opening and receiving and closing and releasing.
I also sensed my lungs moving with my breath in a rhythm, a give and take.
I'm only a tiny bit embarrassed to say that the thing that I sensed was my breasts moving up and down. And the minute I sensed that, I thought, I wonder if this is what she means. Like, well, maybe, I don't know. But then I started thinking about my lungs moving, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to go with that. My breasts are moving up and down as I breathe.
Marvelous. Because what your mind did was not follow an idea, but to become aware of something. You didn't think about something. You took your mind and said, okay, go find something. And you found something that moved, not a thought. I'm now going to give you your homework assignment so that we can have a few minutes then just to process what we've gone through and where you are now. Here's your homework assignment, which is also in the syllabus. Every day, please, for 2 seconds or 2 minutes, it's up to you. Doesn't matter how long the exercise takes. I want you to say at a certain point, you're brushing your teeth, you're drinking coffee, whatever. I want you to say, oh, it's time for the homework assignment. And simply stop. Just stop. Whatever you're doing, just stop. You're brushing your teeth, whoops, homework assignment, and you stop. You pause. Be it for 3 seconds or 30 minutes, doesn't matter. Just stop. Pause. That's the part 1 of this 3-part assignment. After you've paused, then notice what you felt when you paused. Right? Again, it's this noticing thing. It's the kind of thing you did when you turn your mind inward to look for something that was moved. You notice something. So notice what you felt when you paused. That's part 2. Then part 3 is reflect upon what you noticed. Think about it. So pause, simply stop. Then notice, discern what you felt when you stopped. And then think about it. What does this mean? This is interesting. What thoughts come to mind? That's the 3rd stage. Thinking is the 3rd stage. Do this at least once a day, every day, right, for the next 7 days. And I've set up the assignment such that you cannot say, Tandeka, I didn't have time to do the assignment. Because then I'll say, you didn't have 5 seconds? You can do this as often as you want each day, but please do this at least once each day. And then next week, the first thing I will ask you to do is to give us a report in your homework assignment. Okay. Where are you now? What's going on? We've discussed any number of things, including your concerns and issues, all of this. Where are you now? If I've asked the wrong question, answer the right one.
I'm wondering where 2 hours went. And just feeling joy and great gratitude. Yeah, that's where I am. I'm looking forward to this homework and what we're going to do together.
At this stage of my life, I've gotten back into therapy, and I am determined to deal with things that I have not dealt with well in my past. And I am so freaking excited about this because I feel like this is just going to help all that. It's going to make that so much richer and better and maybe even faster. Dare I hope that, these processes can happen more quickly so that, I can, I don't know, get on with my best self. So I'm excited. That's my general feeling. I'm very excited.
I am so hopeful because I tried a lot of things and nothing has felt like this. This feels there's something in it, and I think it's because working with our own statements, it's something that's coming from within, something like you said that I've already done, so I can do it again. Where everything else that I've tried has been external and separate. Um, so I am just so hopeful.
I'm thrilled. I'm moved, and you give me hope. So thank you. Wonderful.